All right, good morning, good evening, good night. Welcome into NFT Live on the Web3 Network for another week. In Web3, we're covering the latest happening in the non-fungible token industry. I'm just excited, man. Giv's got a beanie on, and it's probably 80 degrees where he's at, so you know he's from LA. What's going on, Gif? How you doing? You ready to start the week?
It is getting close to that. It's been up in the 70s, maybe high 70s yesterday. Weather's getting nice out here, but yeah, I live in the valley, which gets crazy hot. So in the next couple weeks, it's probably gonna be insanely hot out here. And yeah, at some point, I might have to get rid of the beanies. I don't know. I mean, right now, my hair's just an absolute disaster in the morning, and I don't always have time to like make it nice. So it's the hat. That's the solve for a bad hair day.
Just the easy solution. I got you. Well, look, it might be cold where Gift Head's at, but ETH is also cooling down. I was going to say hot, and then I realized ETH's not hot, and that's the whole story, which is ETH is down, or ETH gas is down. We got 45 GWE. You can see by this chart, this is like taken in the last 14 days. We had that ridiculous run where, the Ethereum network basically became unusable, and now we see that on May 15th, we're sitting here at a 14-day low, essentially, which is nice to see. People can actually start getting done what they need to get done here in the Ethereum ecosystem. So it feels great.
Feels amazing. Feels so good. Come on in. The waters are warm or cold or
come buy my bags.
Whatever temperature it is. You know what? What feels really good to me is seeing Oni starting to get that pump. We were wondering like what's going on? Why isn't the Horizon Labs announcement doing anything? But maybe part of it was the gas, and then the other part is maybe it was just a delayed reaction. They had the space. They had to plan it at the same time as our GM Web3 morning show, which was frankly very rude.
Yep.
Very rude.
I floored my Onis immediately.
How dare they? But no, it seems like it's like kind of a late reaction, and now people are realizing like, oh, this is like really legit news.
This is another one of those things, man, where one, I'm already upset. So I don't really want to talk about the fact that it's pumped basically 100%.
Are you upset because you've been talking about it for 6 months and I've said you should buy for 6 months?
Specifically in the last 2 weeks, though, like since Horizon Labs, I've been sitting here like, why isn't the market reacting at all to this news? And now we see a little bit of like a lagging price bump here. So this is another one where I think you said this about Pepe. I think you might have said this about Turbo. I'm not exactly sure which one you were talking about, but we're also going to cover those two tokens, folks, if you're looking to get any additional info there. But trusting a little bit of our nature of being here on the front lines. Like I feel like, again, we're sitting here on the front and we're wondering, why doesn't everybody back home know about this? Like that's essentially what we're saying with a lot of the news that we get ahead of time, or at least are privy to understanding like really, really well, right? We knew what Horizon Labs meant. A lot of people might not. I can't put it up to anything other than that. People kind of just got on board with like, oh, Horizon Labs is hopping on the spaces to talk about, the potential utilities in the future. And then we see, kind of a pump there. And it's gone up since we talked about it, 0.54 or 0.57. It is now sitting at 1.09 floor price. So,
all right. Well, yeah, 2x, nice 2x there. Look, I think part of it is exactly what you're saying, that we are just ahead of the curve on so much of this stuff because we're out here every day following it. I think part of it is also like trusting our own guts to an extent. Like you have to believe in the shit that you're seeing and like why it matters, and believe in your own instinct a little bit, right? Like things don't play by like this immediate rule, or like things don't always operate exactly the way that you think. But if you understand like the fundamental reasons and believe that they're true, then sometimes you just got to put your ETH where your mouth is and see what's going to happen. You were the one saying that Oni's going to be at 10 ETH floor in a year, bro. So I don't know why you wouldn't have picked any up around 0.5.
Yeah, I mean it's a indicator of how I feel about the overall market, right? If is it better to stay in ETH? We've been having these discussions here for the last month, maybe two, of is it better to keep your money in stables? Is it better to keep your money in ETH? So that was kind of the what I was looking at was okay, despite there not being a big pump in Oni and it's sitting, at a pretty nice price at 0.54. Again, this is not financial advice. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But it was basically like, hey, this could go down even further. If NFTs keep dropping, you could see it at even lower prices, which is what you get stuck into. So
yeah.
But
well, apparently the alpha that we learned, this is what we've heard, even though we weren't able to join the space. One new thing that may have contributed that we didn't really know is that people are speculating that Blend may add Oni Force as the next collection that they can to lend against, right? So if that happens, there will likely be an influx of volume, which is why I think definitely part of why you're seeing this pump right now. And I don't think that we knew that, but the other thing that they've said is that basically Horizon Labs is their utility partner behind all utility moving forward. So basically any sort of NFT utility will be attached to Horizon Labs somehow, which is a big deal because again, their specialty, if you will, is tokenomics and token infrastructure. So again, they're being very careful not to announce that they're having a token. I don't think there is going to be an imminent token launch or anything like that. But it's hard to believe that there won't be some kind of tokenomics at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you, which was the thesis to begin with, correct? So that was kind of saying, hey, Horizon Labs Ventures, they're not going to bring him in to launch merchandise, so this is a token play for sure. With that, talking about tokens, again, this is not financial advice. Nothing you hear or, see on this episode should be construed as that. We are not financial advisors. And Gift Ed, if you have anything, or you or ChatGPT have anything to add to that, you let me know. But yeah, seriously, guys, not financial advice here on the show.
That's it. We are apparently doctors and physicians, and you can absolutely come to us for medical and health advice,
Vicks.
but not financial advice.
If there's a problem, just put Vicks on it. That's all you got to do.
Well, that's the ultimate solve for everything. It's like the duct tape for your meat engine, for your meat vehicle is just duct tape and Vicks.
It's really the truth. At least my grandmother would say so. All right. Anyways, NFT Live is just starting to get rolling here, folks. We appreciate you joining here early. I see Prodigy, Asbadai, Hash Rhymes. Thank you guys for tuning in as we just started on the first episode of the week. We have a bunch to cover. Usually Mondays, it's not, people don't really release anything on the weekends for the most part. There's not like a lot of huge announcements that take place over that time. So usually a Monday right after we end this episode, someone comes out with something huge. And then we end up talking about it on Tuesday. So today we're going to talk about a lot of, news that has been happening over the last 72 hours and just kind of getting the week started. But Giff, you look like you really needed to say something and all that.
I needed to say smash the like, fam. Smash the like. You know how algorithms work at this point. We don't have to tell you how the algorithm works. Just know that if you smash the like, the NFT boom is going to come back. NFTs are going to come back. And it's all because of what you do with those thumbs and those mouses. We are in control of our own destiny here. But if you don't smash the like on this episode, the chances of your bags ever being worth anything again just get way lower. So help yourself. Help us help you by smashing the like. And you know what? Marty McFly driving a VCon right now.
What are the chances he's actually driving a VCon?
I feel like that guy likes to joke. I feel like he's a bit of a joker, a bit of a troll sometimes. So he might be capping. He might be pulling our legs. But if you are actually driving a VCon, Marty, I'm jealous, and I would look forward to hearing what you think.
Yeah. If you can tune in via your Solana phone too, that would be awesome. If you could take video. I don't even know if there's any video functionality on those type of phones. Who knows?
It's just a 250 gram paperweight that can also play NFT music.
And custody your assets, right? It can play a little bit of music, it can custody your assets, nothing else beyond those two things. So
Oversized, is it just like an oversized ledger? Is that what you're saying?
that's I'm not quite saying that. All right. Look, we're going to get started on the episode today. I did want to share out the tweet one more time, guys. So this is the NFT live tweet for the day. We're going to touch on OniForce, although Gifted decided he wanted to wreck my dreams early here today on the episode by talking about OniForce. First, we're going to touch on a Solana phone review that has made its way to the Twitterverse. Pepe and Turbo continue chugging. I think they've been like obviously extremely volatile. We called that right off the bat. And then we got a lot of other stuff, man. We got Dot Swoosh, Barbie on Flow. Is this the redemption for Flow? I sometimes I hate my job.
You're the one that was like taking Flow's side on GM3. You're like, don't talk down on Flow. How dare you? Don't say anything negative. I didn't even say anything negative, and you got defensive.
I didn't hear any of that because my headphones came out, but I'm guessing that you're saying that I came to defensive Flow, which again I would.
Yeah, but I wasn't even saying anything negative. It was weird. You got like automatically defensive for no reason.
Wait, no, you okay, so look, the way that I heard it was of course Barbie would be building on Flow. And to hear it in that inflection, you think that maybe you have something against Flow, which I still hold a bag of. So I was just checking. DP, what's up? Yeah, the king is back. It's been a minute. What's good? Looks like DP's also saying, I'll smash the like when Gifted takes that big ass beanie off. It's almost summer. I know the top of his head probably smells like a sweaty big toe.
I mean, look, you can use a head condom for all different kinds of reasons. Smell may or may not be one of them. So, thanks for the
Dude,
love.
my headphones are janky as hell today. All right, thank you guys again for tuning in and making fun of Gifted's, I guess, big toe smelling head right now. So without further ado, let's get into it a little bit. I'm going to take us through some of the quick news, but this is what the markets are looking like. Looks like a little bit of I don't want to call it a pump, right? But a little bit of relief here as we continue in our Web3 journey. We've been down pretty severely over the weekend. It looks like Ethereum's around $1,850. Bitcoin sitting at 27.6. We've been covering, Solana, seeing what the Solana phone would do. No 20% increase off the Solana phone announcement or releases. Polygon here sitting under $1. Gifted said it would never go under $1 again. And then ApeCoin is sitting at $3.40. So again, across the board, I think pretty much all of the crypto tokens are lock in step with each other. Nothing out of the ordinary. I can see Lido. So ETH staking is a little bit out of the ordinary, up 24% or 28%. Rocket Pool, another ETH staking platform there, is up 11% over the last 24 hours. Stacks. That's interesting, GIF. The Bitcoin ordinals or the Bitcoin inscription, or is that the layer 2 on Bitcoin?
It's like a layer 2.
Layer 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Pepe down 14%, but that could be literally 14% up at the end of this episode. And let's see, 11% for BitGet. Not financial advice. Don't touch that shit. And Kava, that's another layer 1, I believe. So. Yeah, interesting times in the market. How are you feeling overall about what you're seeing? I know you've been looking at price charts a little bit more since you got into Pepe and Turbo. What do you feel?
I feel pretty good overall because we've definitely seen a little bit of a correction. We've seen things dip a little bit, but I think that I don't know, man. I feel like we are really, really close to the bottom and turning around, and also understanding on the macro side that like the Fed likely has to shift its strategy and like what that's going to do to the market. I think people understand that, they can't keep raising interest rates because we're like already seeing all the bank failures, et cetera. And so I think like we've got to be close to the bottom around here. And this kind of feels to me like like a quick last dip before things start to really rally over the next couple weeks. I don't know. Again, nothing's financial advice. I don't know, but I feel like at this point the bottoms on ETH and Bitcoin have been tested and retested and established. I don't feel like maybe there's a little bit more of a small drop that happens in the
Yeah.
next like couple weeks, maybe. I feel like there's got to be a turn at some point, because I think that also the fiscal policy is going to be shifting soon as well.
Yeah, I'm going to pull up 2 tweets from NFT statistics here. Large cap index up 4% over the weekend, one of the sharper rallies we've had over the past few months. Strength in captains, pudgies, and BAYC ecosystem. You can see large cap PFPs. I'm still interested in what they're calling large cap PFPs. Like I still have not gotten a definitive answer, mainly because I haven't asked NFT Go or statistics, but I'm sure everyone has a different definition of what a large cap looks like. But his large cap PFP index looks like it did again find a little bit of a bottom there. That chart looks like absolute ass, by the way. And then we can see within that captain set, World of Women's set, other side codas, pudgies, those had some really strong, pumps out of that. And then if we look at this, he's covered pudgy penguins rallying towards 5 ETH, teasing a May 18th announcement, and likely more importantly, people betting on a blend announcement today. So apparently the blend announcement is the new Coinbase announcement when it comes to a listing on that platform. So Marty McFly says, can you guys explain to me why the apes are increasing the cringe copy pasta tweets? Marty is also saying, I think ETH will be 1,600, 2,000 all year. Question is, will NFTs come back at all? Listen, if we range there for a long time, that's actually bullish. Like in my opinion,
Consolidate.
Yeah, I mean it'll suck because it'll just feel like, hey, we're not going up. But what we really don't want to see is like 1,200 ETH. Like those are the levels we don't want to psychologically see, because Bitcoin obviously looks a little bit iffy there as well. If ETH is at that levels, if we range with ETH, other things will continue to be built. There will be other opportunities, and we'll still kind of feel good about the space overall. Yeah, obviously, if we go over 2,000, we feel great about where we're headed. So it's just an interesting time, man. We're sitting here at the end of, hopefully at the end of what has been a long bear market. The ETH gas over the last 2 weeks has forced us more to talk about not NFT collections. We have some NFT stuff we're going to touch on, but
I don't think it's the end. I don't think it's the end of the NFT bear market, but I think again, the way that we've been talking about it and that my thesis is going is that the meme coin altcoin meta, I think still plays out over the next couple weeks. I think then in the next month or two, you do start to see the macros shift. I think you do start to see Bitcoin actually have some price action. And then towards the end of the summer, maybe fall, is when I expect really to see NFTs following. So I don't think it's the end yet, but I think you are starting to see some interest in the bigger collections that are still building and still developing pick up, like you were just showing. Seeing things like Oni pop off right now, seeing things like Pudgy Pen, to me that is exciting, because it shows already that NFTs aren't dead, they're not going anywhere. We're just basically have been pretty dormant and beaten down. So the opportunities are, to me, over the next couple months to be positioning yourselves, right? That's my whole goal with the meme coins. I want to buy back into Bored Apes. I want to position myself for when I think the next NFT bull run is going to kick off, which I think is really late summer, maybe into the fall.
Yeah.
And to Marty's question about the cringy copy pasta tweets, yeah, they are kind of cringy. It's just solidarity in a strong community of people that have seen their prize assets go from $500,000 down to $80,000, and they're trying to say, hey, I'm not selling.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking leaving. That's what it is.
when I look at apes, I don't even look at the USD price. One, because I'm not looking for the instant liquidity now, but we are still down from all time highs on ETH, of course. But like I don't even look at that 500K price point. I look at more like how far are we down in ETH terms. We only sat at like 130, 140 for a moment, right? Like that was like basically a week or something's time. So I would say like in that 100 to 110 range, like that we're down half from, which sucks. Don't get me wrong. But if you're looking to, if I'm looking to sell an ape, I'm accumulating ETH. That's my biggest thing. Like if I'm doing that, I'm accumulating ETH. We're 50% down from 50. You can make again the case that if you timed it perfectly you got 150, but for a majority of the time it wasn't sitting in those 140 ranges and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm not looking at that USD price saying, "Oh, I missed out on that," because I'm looking at accumulating ETH if I'm selling an ape. So, hey, we're in kind of market analysis and looking at a little bit of statistics as well as kind of how we feel. So, you sent over that tweet from, I believe, CoinMarketCap. Looks like they're
Well,
involved and they got some data as well.
this is a partnership, actually really cool development from our sponsor, NFT Go, NFTGo.io coming through. One of the things that NFT Go does really well is they provide free research and insights. And so they've actually partnered here with CoinMarketCap for a really, really unique report, NFT market analysis and insider look. So this is something that they just released in the last couple of days. If you want to drop that link in the chat, you can go download this free PDF. Again, it's not just NFT Go's information. They're pooling it together and working with CoinMarketCap to create some really, really unique insights and again, offer it totally for free. So this is something I actually have it pulled up. I don't know if we want to go like actually dig into it today, but I think that this is something that we're going to be looking at over the coming week or two.
So let's do this. I've got the actual article pulled up right in front of me. So let's go over the key takeaways, and then if you want to continue, you can obviously dive deep and we can stay here. But key takeaways: NFT trading volume in Q1 2023 increased sharply, but then declined. This was due to Blur's incentives and airdrops. The number of NFT holders dropped to its lowest point in the last 12 months on April 19th, with just 11,187 traders. This is a tough. See, with stats, I always kind of have an issue. I don't know if this is worded correctly because, again, the number of NFT holders dropped to the lowest point, and then they talk about traders in the same sentence. The holders didn't drop to the lowest point. It was the amount of traders that dropped to the lowest point, and a lot of it had to do with the activity around these meme coins. So you have to make sure that you say the correct thing. It wasn't the number of NFT holders. What do you got?
No, it's active wallets, right, or active traders on a day, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. So OpenSea had dominated the NFT royalty market, but Blur surpassed it. Okay, so the Blur narrative, Blur's optional royalties, zero gas fee approach targeted price-sensitive users, making it the new leader in royalty market share. The number of watch traders on Blur is gradually decreasing, indicating that real traders are settling down, but apparently settling a little bit with Blur. 3, affected by the bear market at the end of 2022. The profitability of blue chip decreased significantly in Q1, but some projects still performed well. BAYC has the strongest profitability in the sellers market, and AZUKI whales have increased by 100%, which is the most resilient blue chip of the year. So AZUKI being the most resilient blue chip of the year. And then to Marty's point, if you had, I think he asked if you had 55 ETH right now, you would buy a BAYC over a Punk?
Me, I think, yeah, given where Bored Apes are at, they probably have a little bit more upside in the short term. My goal is to get a Punk one day, but like right now, I think that Bored Apes are a little bit undervalued.
All right, there's your answer. There are various methods for generating income through NFTs, including buying high quality NFTs at a low price and holding them long term. So long term, holders, obviously, they're bulk minting NFTs from niche projects and selling them at a higher price, and identifying profitable NFT categories for high frequency trading. Last 2 takeaways here from the NFT Go article on CoinMarketCap: the trading volume and number of Bitcoin ordinals market in the past 4 months have been on the rise, but its trading volume only accounts for 0.02% of the ETH market due to slow transaction speed of ordinals, high cost, and limited application range. See, everything there that they said to me screams opportunity. Again, this is not financial advice, but everything that was just said in this, where the trading volumes are like not even close to, it's a quarter of 1% of the trading volume on ETH. The slow transaction speed, the high cost, the limited application rate. So basically, the barriers to entry, all of those things scream opportunity when it comes to finding alpha in this space. And then I guess they're talking lending here at the end of the takeaways. So NFTFi lending market revived in Q1 with loans amounting to about 25 mil. Paraspace accounted for the largest market share of the lending market, while NFTFi led in number of NFT lending users. No mention of Blend there. This must have been done before.
Yeah, they're probably pulling all this data like 2 to 3 weeks ago, right? Because Blend just launched like 2 weeks ago, and I believe in a matter of like a week was the biggest lender of all time. So, take that with a grain of salt. But that's the issue with data too; it's always backwards looking. Still, there's a full PDF report full of amazing information. Again, shout out NFT Go and CoinMarketCap for putting it together.
Yeah, great look here. We'll get into it in the NFT GO Bag Check portion that we have here inside of this episode. But all right, taking a quick break. Last thing I had on the really, really quick news front is this. I just can't get over this.
Wait,
this article
we already hit this. You want to hit this again? You just love the headline.
No, I'm just talking about sheerly the headline. Like the fact that it was brought up on the GM Web3 morning show this morning. And I am blown away that this is still the headline of this article. I've never seen an article with as blatant just basically was like, I'm just gonna put this out there. I don't really care what the hell shit goes down.
What I see happening, what I see happening here is they're trying to differentiate themselves from other Web3 news outlets, and they're trying to be like the voice of DGen. DGen news. Like they're like, what? How did DGens talk? How would DGens write a news article? How do they want to read their news? That's what I see them doing. They're just trying to have a more unique take. I feel like what I was gonna say is I feel like Vice News used to do this pretty well, where they had like a very unique sort of edgy voice, but then they just went bankrupt. So they didn't really evolve or figure out how to turn that into a more meaningful, lasting connection, right? Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. I'm not mad at people trying to experiment and be interesting and different, But
you got to be yourself too. I don't know. All right, we are going to get to the NFT Go Bag Check. Again, we were heavy in prices today, but we got some other news. So GIF, I know the Dot Swoosh, the OF1 was today. So if you've got anything on that, let me know. Barbie, we're going to touch
the website is not working for me. I know it's working for some people because
rugged.
Quantum Variant says that he was able to already get his. I cannot make the Nike website pull up for me. I'm probably gonna have to clear my, my cache or something after the show. So I'm getting an error. Hopefully, I'm not the only one, but it sounds like I am. But I will say, just on that note, yes, the Nike Our Force 1 drop that we've been talking about for a while. It's a big deal. First ever Nike Web3 product drop, right? This is a big deal. You can go collect your shoe boxes, and there's two different kinds. There's the classic and the new wave, and you get to decide as long as they're available. The interesting thing to me is that there's no crypto option. It's fiat only for this first drop. So we'll see how that goes, but a lot of speculation on why that is and the different rationales. One of them, one reason possibly just being to avoid bots and all the different issues that can come with that. Maybe there's taxes and trying to stay regulatory, on the side of regulation, friendly side of regulation. I don't know, but it's interesting to see a company like this launching without any crypto option on their first ever NFT product.
For those of you that have been with us for a long time, you remember the wax days and the fact that every wax drop had to fuck up in some form or fashion. Like whether it was the wax protocol or it was their front end website. Well, this is giving me heavy wax run through. So
Oh,
I'm gonna
wait, I'm not the
slam.
only one.
No,
I'm not the only one.
I'm literally going to slam my headset down. I'm going to do all that stuff that I used to do when we were on wax all these years ago. We're still dealing with the issues. So, yes, 504 gateway timeout for me on Nike Dot Swoosh.
Swoosh.Nike. Yes.
Here we go. So, guess everyone was just excited to buy their OF1 box as us. We are aware of the website issues and our team is on it. Not for me.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to get it and see where it goes. We'll have to wait and see which one I get. But yeah.
So, okay, so the question you asked me immediately when we were talking Dot Swoosh is that the information that we weren't privy to immediately, but now they dropped it right before the launch, was that they're only going with credit card. And so you're like, are you cool with this? Do you like the fact that it's only credit card? Does it feel Web3? Obviously, it doesn't feel Web3. My answer back to you, and I'm interested in y'all's take, so please drop this in the chat. My take immediately was, as long as there's an off ramp to get to some self-custodied wallet like a MetaMask or a Phantom or whichever wallet you're using, as long as there's an off ramp to do so, I'm okay with whatever on ramp they're using, whether that be credit card, whether that be cold hard cash. I don't know how that would work, but you get my meaning. I'm okay with the onboard with the credit card as long as there's some type of off ramp available immediately, not in 6 months. Not in 3 months. If there is some type of off ramp where you buy it with credit card, then you can send it to your MetaMask wallet. Then I'm okay with.
Which I don't think they're going to have. That's me speculating. But like, I think Nike's trying to control the situation as much as they possibly can because they realize the amount of liability that can come from decentralization and the wild, wild Web3 world. All the scams, all the issues, all the different problems. I feel like they're going to keep it pretty buttoned up. So if I had to guess, I doubt that they're going to offer an off ramp or an on ramp. And that is kind of annoying. But Omar, it looks like Omar out here saying the white on white OF1 is the chase apparently. So there you go. Apparently that's, yeah.
Yeah. We don't have access to swoosh.nike right now, but you can kind of see their platform or their website here. So this was the first access sale. You did end up getting these.
That was
these
an
posters,
airdrop.
correctly?
Yeah, I got it. So the poster is the way to get into the first access, and then it'll let you claim one of these two. So on the right, that's the classic. On the left, that's the new wave, and then classic will be one of the OG Air Force One designs. And new wave will be some interesting new futuristic design that may or may not ever exist.
They actually did a great job with the detail here. I love like the digital box opening, like digital shoebox opening. I love that.
Yeah, it looks pretty dope.
Like way more than the poster. Like I remember seeing the poster. I was like, oh, cool. You could like move the shoes around or what have you. Like that was cool. But I really like the like reveal session here and the detail on these boxes.
I think it's all good quality. I mean, it's freaking Nike, so you expect them to do good quality. But the amount of times that we've seen, big Web2 brands enter and do it in a shoddy, sort of cash grabby way without a lot of intention or quality, we've seen it. This to me feels different. It feels like they're putting a lot of effort behind making it a good experience and creating something special.
Yep.
That's why I'm excited.
All right, I'm going to get to Choina's question here, and then I'm going to get on my soapbox. Choina is saying, didn't Ben Fairbank from RFox come on your show during the mess of a COGS launch on Wax, or am I making that up? You are 100% true. The COG, we had Ben on multiple times. I remember him walking around his office, losing Wi-Fi every other step, and that was a shit show. And then there was another one where the Wax blockchain either misfunctioned or kind of went down. I don't remember the exact. It was like 2 years ago, but yes, that is correct. And the other thing, Gifted, that I want to point out is that Nike is doing NFT drops on their platform. It looks great. They're like, it's on Dot Swoosh. Like Nike is involved in NFTs, and people think NFTs are somehow like gone forever. or like there won't be any other speculative bubble around NFTs. It makes
And Amazon is about to launch a fully integrated digital marketplace. I know. I
that's
mean,
the
look,
dichotomy.
this is why we sit here and we're constantly the ones like, feeling like people are just being reactive to the current state of the market because and it again, it's fair to feel down when the market's down. We've been beaten down for like a year and several months, but there's so many different things that are developing that can change the whole narrative. And I think one of them is the Asian market. I don't think that we fully understand like even what the Asian market can do yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see what happens with the Asian market over the next year or two. Because again, this is a global phenomenon. There's so many different things that can impact the space and so much development happening.
Yeah, as what I was saying, remember the interview with Sebastian from Sandbox during land issues. Marty's saying I'm skipping the Nike drop. I only wear Skechers. Actually, it actually makes sense.
Hey, style, high fashion.
It-
I also want to say like since we're talking briefly about Nike and like where everything's going, we've said this a lot, but I think it's worth reiterating that Nike and Starbucks and even Reddit, but like what Nike and Starbucks are doing right now is so fucking important because these aren't just like some of the biggest consumer brands in the world. These are literally business leaders. And what that means is that so many other brands around the world look at what they do, they watch what they do, and then follow their lead.
Mhm.
Right. And so having these big brands creating next level community engagement, rewards programs, different types of activations and new products and experiences, this is so big. It really is massive what this is going to mean for all of the other brands, all of the other companies around the world that pay attention. So, yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I'm going to look at some of these collection floors real quick, folks. So anything else on Nike Dot Swoosh? My last piece here is a follow up to what you just said, as well as what we're kind of conversing about. Is nothing was being built in the last bear. That's another thing that's really cool. Is like all this stuff is happening alongside tough prices and tough downward charts, but nothing was being built in the last bear. Like imagine that, like prices continuing down and you have nothing to really point to say, hey, this is where we're going. And then out of whatever that spawn was, we get everything that we're sitting in now. That's what's crazy is there was nothing and we had a cycle and we did what we did. And I think the foundations are much stronger this time. So all right, so we're gonna hit the NFT Go Bag Check. We got a couple other stories to hit today. I might want to hit one of our Rate My Bag segments. I want to kind of look at that. It's been a long time since we've done a Rate My Bags. I really don't have too many stories.
You
for today.
said you would give me 48 hours warning.
Nope. Because then we don't really get like the full actual story here. We don't get the actual like live raw reaction. You have time to prepare. You have time to do all these things. So I'm instead of that, I'm going to throw the Rate My Bag segment. But this is the NFT Go Bag Check. I want to thank our sponsors on this month's episode or shows of NFT Live. NFT Go does a great job. We use their analytics platform all the time. We are going to jump in there in just a second, actually. But yeah, big shout out to NFT Go Bag Check. Gif, you got anything to say here?
Bag check. That's all I gotta say.
I love it. I'm here for it. Sentiments at 27, cooling off. So GIF Dad needs to tweet a little bit more here. I need bullish tweets from you, GIF. You control this algorithm. I have not looked at 30-day profit and loss like over time, but this seems to be getting worse. I've only had the eye test of looking at this red bar for the last 3 months, and this seems
everybody's been
worse.
flooring and liquidating like I did to move into meme coins, bro.
That's fair. All right, so against ETH, we saw a ridiculous shoot up on May 12th. I think that might be, if they're putting Miladies in there, that might be a Milady situation. But against ETH, it looks like we are seeing some relief. We're seeing some movement upwards. Again, if you zoom out from 30 days, it does not look good starting in May. And then kind of it looks like we might have some relief. We'll see over time. Against USD, it likely looks about the same on the 7-day. It looks probably a little bit better. We're seeing again that relief here on May 15th and 14th. And market cap and volume looks that this one doesn't look very strong at all. 30 days, you can see on May 12th we hit a low for the month, and then we're kind of bouncing off of that over the weekend. But again, a lot of the volume has been extremely low due to high gas. So that's at least our thesis. USD looks kind of the same there. As we move into the top collections on volume over the last 7 days. So there it is, Milady's, Elon's collection, we shall henceforth call it. Mutant Apes taking up the second piece, Bored Apes, Azuki, Wrapped CryptoPunks, DeGods, Pudgies, Redacted Remelia babies that they can throw in the fucking fire, the Captains, Other Deeds, and then over the last 24 hours, Mutant Apes, Bored Apes, Pudgy Penguins, Azukis, DeGods, the Captains, Milady's, Wrapped CryptoPunks, and Other Deeds. What's the deal with the Mutant Ape volume? Is it just because it's a larger collection and it has less of a price? Like Mutant Ape seems to be consistently either 1 or 2 here, where Bored Apes usually are sitting around 3 or 4, maybe even 5. I've seen them down pretty low. What do you think is behind?
I think
this,
that's
like,
it.
Mutant Apes?
Yeah, it's more than twice the size of Bored Apes in terms of number of assets, right? Supply is like 25 or 26,000, and it's a little bit more affordable or easier to get in and out of. More people are going to be flipping those than they are the Bored Apes right now. That's what you're seeing. But I think also, again, a lot of people have been like unloading those to get liquidity out more readily than a Bored Ape.
All right, I'm going to show the last piece here. Blur obviously having a ton of trading sizes here over the last 7 days. OpenSea having about half. This is pretty. I think this is a lot more than what we have normally seen out of OpenSea when it comes to the trading sizes. They've been at like a third or even a quarter of the trading size of Blur. So interesting to see that. They've, on the flip side of that, they've had a lot of trading activity in the trading, the actual users. So OpenSea continuing that dominance was at the 7-day, and then you see Blur, OpenSea Pro almost at Blur levels when it comes to amount of traders, and Blur Aggregator, and then everybody else. I'm not sure what it's going to take from any of these others to get to where they're competing with Blur, but again, and OpenSea. But again, this is where Blur was before, launching, and it seemed to take, the space by, storm essentially. So we could easily see a third competitor. I don't know what the impetus for that is, but we will see. All right, what are you dropping me? What are you dropping me here?
I just got some fun, some fun dank memes. If you want to take a side quest into the world of Pepe, this is another AI generated Drake song. This time it's a collab with AI Travis Scott. So, we saw the Drake Pepe song. This is apparently a new one with Travis Scott, and so I don't know, man. I'm here for it.
Are we locking in for the whole song? I mean, I might stop this halfway through. I'm down for it.
I mean, we can always play the whole thing on the way out. You know what I mean?
Sure,
but yeah.
Sure.
I'm about to go lift off. And there's no coming back. If you missed it, you missed this. Once in a lifetime. She going crazy with the douchey max a day. I've been thinking I ain't got enough to pay. Now I'm sitting on the back for what I pay. And now she wanna come and ride on my Pepe. P-E-P-E-M-O-O-N. That's what it's about to say. P-E-P-E-M-O-O-N. That's what it's about to say. P-E-P-E-M-O-O-N. That's what it's about to fucking know it's at. P-E-P-E-M.
What?
Pepe Moon. Pepe
Yeah,
Moon.
bro.
That's what it's about to say. Got a call from my ex, I wonder what I changed. She wanna be on my yacht, I guess I would have paid. The market jumping, everybody out here getting paid. I had some wallets, gave it 3 cause I don't need the phrase. Plant a seed, baby, the world is green, baby. We giving time for the DJ to come riding. We climbing charts and the market cap go in the saves. Yeah, and the volume coming in like a parade.
Let's go.
That was one of the worst songs I have ever heard.
What are you talking about, bro? That was fucking dope. I mean, okay, it doesn't slap as much as like some of the others. I'll tell you that much. But PEPEMOON. That's a hook. That's a hook, Q.
The only thing that saves this from being one of the worst things ever created is that the anime or the animations around it is actually pretty dope.
Yeah.
Like, I actually really like the Pepe animations of the story they're trying to tell here, although there's like some serious Lucifer vibes there. But again, like I like the animations. I don't know where they get it from. I don't know if it's cut from something else or they create them.
Yeah, it is. This was created previously from something else, but it's still pretty dope.
Yeah. What a great segue. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're all welcome.
Trying to just ask for 2 minutes of his life back. Can you give that to him?
I mean, I don't know why you would want the 2 best minutes of your life back.
All right. You can't have those 2 minutes. But what we can do is fill the next 45 seconds with an awesome Barbie-filled trailer. Good luck. We're going to hop into this one, too, and see what happens.
Boss Beauties loves Barbie. She shows us we can be anything. An astronaut, a doctor, the world's fastest race car driver, an engineer designing cutting-edge technology in a houndstooth dress, and pumps. Over 250 careers and counting. For over 60 years, Barbie has been inspiring women and girls. More than a doll, Barbie empowers girls to be anything. And that's what makes Barbie a boss. Welcome to Web3, B. Join Boss Beauties and Barbie in creating a world where you can be anything.
Okay. So we went from like something with no substance whatsoever to something with some pretty good substance, and Barbie's getting into the Web3 apparently, and we haven't heard a lot from Boss Beauties over in the bear. So this was pretty cool, and it's on the Flow blockchain. Watch yourself, GIF. They're talking about Flow.
I don't know why you think I have it out for Flow. I have nothing but tremendous respect for Dapper Labs and their proprietary blockchain technology.
They're calling this a virtual drop. I kind of like that. Like we talk about verbiage a lot on the show. Virtual drops are pretty nice. This is the platform. It looks like in 2 hours and 21 minutes, the Boss Beauties and Barbie virtual collection will go live. Again, like a little bit of I like the branding. It makes sense. Don't miss this. It's sold out.
Yeah, I think today it like already launched with something. I mean, the thing that I'm confused about is kind of the choice of the 2D artwork and then the cards aspect. Like these are packs. It's like cracking packs, right? So it's like you don't get any sort of individual assets. It's like you're collecting cards, like sports cards or Pokemon cards.
Yeah, each pack includes 2 common cards and 1 uncommon card. The 4th card will be from one of the other 4 rarities. 3 of those rarities shown here come with additional perks.
Yeah, that seems like an interesting choice, and I wonder how it's going to hold up. But it seems like at least it's already sold out or people are interested. Barbie is a big deal. It's a massive brand. Again, huge. Yeah, seems like a W for Boss Beauties.
If in fact there is some sales. I like your point there. Like what do we think It's interesting that they went the pack route. I agree with you. like the packs with like multiple cards in each pack, the rarities, that can sometimes drive secondary market volume, right? Like you want to get into the rare collections. If you do end up getting a super rare, that often ends up, in your favor if you're trying to flip or maybe as a collector, obviously. But yeah, that's in this market, I do wonder how that will do.
We're about to find out. It is just on top of everything else, it's a very interesting time to be launching a project in general. I think anyone launching projects right now is ballsy. So very, very ballsy for Boss Beauties and Barbie to be launching right now.
Yeah, I mean, so I can pull up Crypto Slam here, but again, you're looking at flow volumes too, right? Like what's the organic trading that's happening on Flow right now? Because they're saying buy, sell, trade, looking to complete your virtual collectibles set. We've created a secure marketplace where you can connect with other collectors and find the items you need. I'm assuming that's on Flow. Boss Beauties isn't on Flow. So this is kind of a move in a way where we've seen DeGods, in a way where we've seen Utes. What are some other collections that have moved? It looks like this Doodle's another one to Flow. So I feel like this is like a little bit of a dynamic situation in a lot of different ways. Like Boss Beauties is now has a collection on Flow. Like you could literally say that, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like like what Doodles 2 did, except they're doing it in partnership with a big brand, right? It's an expansion project into another blockchain, specifically Flow, like Doodles 2 did. It's just they did it in partnership with a massive Mattel franchise.
Who's the? I guess again, is this so on Flow? This is going to have some credit card situation up front as well. We just touched on how Nike is doing just credit cards. I wonder if this isn't more of the same, because again, I just wonder that the target demographic, obviously being female, how many of those people are in Web3 and are going to collect at that clip where they need this to be successful?
Well, that's a great question. And, again, like understanding the audience, or if they even have an audience, it's a big question mark right now. But their whole purpose with this is to onboard more women into Web3, at least ostensibly or on its face. That's what they say. And if they can do that, then great. I would say also one good thing about the whole fiat exchange for these types of big, Web2 brands, famous brands, at least on something like Flow. Well, no, I mean, you tell me, right? Because to your point, you're concerned about the on-ramp, off-ramp of custodial wallets and like what's the bigger experience and interoperability of these projects. If somebody pays with fiat into Flow, that can like that value, that money, that exchange. So the fiat, let's say that you put $50 into Flow for this, right? You buy with a credit card. That value that is then on the Flow blockchain can move into other cryptos.
Yes, you need to.
Right?
So that was primarily a. I think Solana had this integration, but I'm trying to figure out like what's it probably like a native, like Flow exchange. You know what I mean? Coinbase.
Well, you can it wasn't, but you can trade Flow on Coinbase now. So it's like just the fact that Flow is listed now on some of the other big exchanges where you can trade it. To me, that's a win for the space, right? Like if you can get some new people experimenting with crypto and buying in a way that basically impacts, liquidity writ large, it's not just trapped. Yeah. It can flow in and out of Flow. That's a win to me. So I'm not mad actually at offering fiat options. Although I think it's weird when you only have a fiat option for an NFT. I think that's a strange move, but
that cuts off some of the demographic. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to sit up here and say this is a bad move because I've always said choose one or the other, and it's very clear that they're choosing the Web 2 folks, but they're cutting off potentially people that would buy the product in crypto that are normally using crypto. It's a good point.
Yeah, but also with Nike again, like I'm not sure. I guess that if it's on Polygon, you would think it, in some way that does help the network or the larger community. But if that value is trapped into their ecosystem and there's no way really to get it out, then I don't know. That's what's going to be interesting to see, right? So when people get their OF1 boxes, how do they trade them, and then is that value something that can be moved in and out, or is it stuck in the Dot Swoosh economy?
Yeah, that's something you have to look at. So Flow is the 10th by volume here on sales in the last 7 days. So you're talking Ethereum at the top, Bitcoin with the Bitcoin ordinals. It looks like has done a ton of different sales. So we've been covering this. That's actually crazy to see. So I'm almost positive they can't just be talking about like Bitcoin transactions. They have to be somehow filtering by ordinals or by those that have like the the NFT piece involved. So that's kind of wild. But obviously ETH, Bitcoin, I don't even know what Mythos is, but there is a D market on Mythos. I don't know if that's DeFi or what. Then Solana, Polygon, Immutable X, BNB, Cardano, Arbitrum, and then Flow. So, I mean, honestly, the move to just credit card, in a way, kind of makes sense. If they're the 10th biggest, they're like, where's that organic volume going to be? They should have had another option to do both. I agree with you. Like, why cut it off? That makes no sense. It's like, why not offer it in an asset that people hold and are on that and is native to that platform? That part that makes no sense. But also, I don't even think we saw that. Did we see whether they were saying no flow? Because we're I feel like putting that on to the Boss Beauty drop when it's not. It was on Dot Swoosh, so they might have an ability to buy with flow.
Wait, I'm confused. You're conflating two things.
That's what I mean. Is Boss Beauty just credit card as well, or is there an
no,
I
don't know.
Okay,
I don't know. Yeah.
All right.
I don't know.
All right.
But I was more just saying that I know. I think at least in the case with flow, people buying with fiat, that value can flow in and out, of that market into the larger ecosystem, which is a good thing to win.
All right, I'm going to try to find Boss Beauties here on NFT Go. I want to see if this has done anything to their floor price here. But folks, if you got any other stories you want us to cover, I know we want to jump into Assassin's Creed as well. They're jumping into the Web3 world as well. Ubisoft has like made multiple attempts at this, so it's interesting to see them continue to kind of pound the pavement for this stuff. But let me go into Boss Beauties real quick, see if I can find them.
Yeah, I'm excited about Assassin's Creed. I'm excited about Ubisoft continuing to evolve, develop, experiment with different use cases of NFTs because they haven't all been successful. Like, they caught a lot of flack early on for like an initial NFT drop with like Ghost Recon or something. It really backfired on them. But they've done a couple things now. And this is, Assassin's Creed that's one of their biggest IPs. Like this is, one of the crown jewels in Ubisoft's, repertoire or whatever, in their whole archive of all of their games, all their IP. Assassin's Creed is one of their most valuable IP. So for them to be rolling out something involving NFTs around Assassin's Creed, I think is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I agree with that. Let's hop into that in just a second. I couldn't find like the main Boss Beauties collection. Is this can't be it? 0.07?
That's probably it. Why isn't it? Look at the total volume, almost 17,000. Yeah, that's got to be it. Wow. Everything's beaten now, my guy. Like you shocked? You shocked to see a low floor?
What was the total? What was like the top floor price on a Boss Beauty?
I don't know. Go look at. That's what NFT Go is good for. Go look at I'm looking all time. Yeah. They're selling for around 5 at one point. A couple big sales around 5.
Sales around 5. It looks like the average sale price peaked out January 31st, 3.5 ETH. Sheesh. that is down bad.
Everything's
everything's
down
down
bad,
bad,
bro.
damn.
Do you know how many charts we could pull up that look like this?
But 3.5 ETH to 0.07 has to be like I don't even know the percentage on that. Someone give me the percentage on that, because you're talking about like an Oni force is down like from like 5 to 1 or something like that. Holy shit. Oh,
There's a lot of projects that look like that though, bro.
yeah. I just assume, well, we had Boss Beauties in like I think A tier on a lot of our stuff. You know, like we had A tier on Rate My Bags for a little while.
Are we talking about World of Women? Or are we talking about Boss Beauties?
Oh, okay. That was the difference. Got it.
Different projects.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to cover quantum variant here. Talking about Ethereum bug happening last week. This would be kind of crazy, and I get why this was swept under the rug. If in fact, like, and I'm guessing this did happen, an unknown bug caused Ethereum to stop finalizing blocks. Finalization is like the big confirm takes about 13 minutes. Small confirms work fine. Some people saying Ethereum froze. Some people get mad because small confirms are still working. Some people say, oh my God, validators were close to getting slashed, which happens when blocks are not finalized, obviously not finalized, but like there's a slashing period where if you're staking to Ethereum and you're a validator and something goes wrong, you're going to get slashed. But obviously this wasn't something to do with those stakers. I believe these people are wrong because Ethereum's consensus algo doesn't just insta slash everyone when there's a finalizing issue. What happens is that non-attesting validators start to lose tiny amounts. Let me see if let me pull this up real quick. Let me pull this up. This is again, a lot of this stuff is not talked about on mainstream because like they almost like sweep it on the rug, like, oh, this wasn't a big deal, but
Yeah.
that is like status quo for when shit like this happens.
To the harm that they can cause, and there's different responses that they require.
Oh, this is Vitalik.
Quick follow-up on that. Isn't the threshold required for a censorious soft fork to occur significantly below 50% due to proposer boost?
Good question.
I thought it was
Yeah,
like...
I don't know
kind of-
off the top of my head the exact answer. And then I think once you get into that stuff, there's also all of these like subtleties around, like, are we talking about censoring some of the time or all of the time? Are we talking about the adversary having an ideal network model, or are we talking about like AAM or a more realistic network? But yeah, it is like somewhere between like 20% and 50%, depending on, I guess, specific assumptions that you use. And like that number will probably increase down to.
Okay, so not much you can pull from that clip. And then just to echo the statement we were making earlier, that he's going to cap off this tweet thread with saying Ethereans generally seem super touchy about the subject and really don't want to hear it.
Interesting. Uh-oh.
Yeah. It sounded like small underpowered nodes had some issues. They patched it pretty quickly. Okay, so it was a node issue then. It was a validator issue potentially. And those validators would then get slashed, which is the mechanism in place to stop that stuff from happening.
And slashed means that they lose their ETH, basically, or what?
Yeah, essentially they would be slashed in multiple different ways. They could lose their future, quote unquote, to make it very, layman's terms, like spot in line. When it comes to validating, they can lose the actual ETH, dude, Marty, you gotta stop, man. Like, we don't talk about that, Kiwi. Like, we're talking about it right now. I don't know where this comes from. It's so weird.
It's just jokes, right?
I hope so. I hope so. Like if there's a story that is thrown to us, like in anything, we've been very open. We covered Solana before we got absolutely murdered by some, like, every Solana like fudster that came through our show and wanted to talk shit. It's like we're trying to cover the entirety of the space. Like, we literally just talked about slashing Ethereum validators, like, and then we're talking about fucking NFT drops that are happening with Barbie. Like, we're What makes you think we're not covering certain things? I just, it's kind of triggering. But yeah, take it away if you got anything.
No, I want to sit in that right for a while. This awkward tension. I think it's good. Anyway, no, we can keep it going. More to talk about. I think the Assassin's Creed thing
Yeah, let's pull that up.
is worth mentioning. I put the tweet in the chat if you want to pull it up. Again, this is a big deal. Like as far as established game franchises, global game franchises, and the big publishers, Ubisoft is the second or third largest game publisher in the world, and this is one of their biggest games. And so again, they've been experimenting progressively with some of their different franchises in different ways. This is a very unique sort of offshoot of Assassin's Creed now, doing some fidgetals. So yeah, it looks like what they're doing here is giving you the chance to customize a physical object that has like a character embedded in it. So I don't know. I think it's cool. The way that you claim these and participate is basically with an NFT, or they call them smart collectibles.
They trademark that shit.
Yeah.
There's a literal trademark on that, on smart collectibles. So apparently Ubisoft making moves on the trademark front. So it says in this thread, we will be providing some tech and ordering information in regards to the smart collectibles that we are very excited to debut on it to Assassin's Creed fans. IRL smart collectibles are unique collectibles consisting of physical and digital components. The physical component is a 3D printed cube authenticated by Authentic Vision and NFC tags, which is tied to the same address as the digital collectible. Fans who successfully obtain their digital soul at launch day will be prompted to use our customizer to transform their digital soul. Your digital soul that includes unique outfits and weapons will be loaded into the customizer and displayed in 3D editing page. Okay. So digital soul has implications for their network, or sorry, not their game, right? Because like the soul that the guy like transfers into based on his lineage. But the smart collectible is like actually obviously doesn't have anything to do with the game. It's more their verbiage they want to use for NFTs. That's pretty dope.
Yeah. And I think it's just like, how are they using Web3 tech and different new tech to innovate their own collectible offering in their collectibles business? Because that is an ancillary business for big game publishers, right? They sell collectibles around their famous game franchises, and the big fans of those games will absolutely spend hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars to get these collectibles, right? So it's not like a massive part of their business, but it is an ancillary part of their business, right? So maybe they see the potential if they can actually digitize or streamline the collecting through NFTs or different things. Maybe they see opportunities for more efficiencies or increasing profit there, or maybe they're just trying to stay ahead of the curve and be interesting and innovative.
So it looks like Assassin's Creed built a whole Twitter profile, or at least rebranded Assassin's Creed Smart Collectibles.
Yeah, no, this looks like a brand new Twitter, which I think is kind of interesting, right? So they're like, it's still an experiment. I think it's fascinating and interesting that they're doing it with one of their biggest franchises. But again, I think what's maybe weirder to me about it is that they chose to do Assassin's Creed smart collectibles instead of just a smart, like Ubisoft smart collectibles. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
Because so what? Now you're going to create a separate Twitter account for every different franchise that you're doing these collectibles with. That's a lot of fucking Twitters and channels to manage, Yeah,
it's a fair question.
I know part of the reason that they do that is because of the way that they handle media, right? I don't think it's necessarily efficient to do it that way, but because they want to allocate budget and media across channels in a very strategic way, I know that that's part of the strategy.
All right, I want to stay in this Assassin's Creed Ubisoft piece because I think there's some cool pieces, and then we'll bump out of it. But apparently, I was thrown wrong. Apparently, I read Marty's comment wrong. I thought he was basically saying that we're not covering that stuff. It looks like he was saying talking about something else, and he was talking to Quantum Variant. So my bad. I read that wrong. It's live content. Sorry about that one.
He's a sensitive guy, Marty. He gets triggered easily. We just got to remember that.
I just don't like again, it goes back to that same type of mindset that some people come in here with, and I'm not saying Marty has it. Apparently I read that wrong, but it's that we do what we can to cover the entirety of the space. And when someone comes in and says we don't, I'm just like, dude, we could totally be just a shill fest about Ethereum. You know, like we try and do our best to stay open to almost everything. And when somebody's coming in and says that, and again, that's not what just happened here, but that is a trigger button for me. For anybody in future commenters, that is a future trigger for Nifty Q. So
yeah, it's kind of like when people have no idea who we are or our track record or what we actually put our time and attention to, come in and try and tell us that we're not inclusive enough, or we're not doing this and that. It's like, okay. Appreciate
all right, so back on the rails. Discover iconic gear sets. So there's going to be gear sets associated with this. Pieces of Eden Pass. Pass holders will enjoy various exclusive perks such as pass-only discounts, early access to drops, and more. This is a really well done. That's what's crazy. Like, we're seeing really well done drops now from like the large brands. I mean, we talked about it. We were like, they're gonna fuck this up over and over again until they start understanding how to actually go about it. And it feels like we're there in a sense. There are still gonna be others that fuck it up. Don't get me wrong, but it feels like we're getting some really well thought out from the verbiage. They're not just saying NFTs. You know what I mean? A year and a half ago, it's Assassin's Creed NFTs. We're gonna do all this stuff, and then the rollout would have been terrible. It would have been not well received. They've learned the lessons. You know, it's pretty dope. Marty almost crashed on I-80. Damn.
I still think he's capping, but yo, we have. I don't know if you got anything else on the Assassin's Creed front, but I do have an update. I do have an update on the Our Force One.
Yeah, let me finish this off by saying apparently there's a Discord as well that you can go to. Let me drop that in there. It said this is from the Assassin's Creed Smart Collectibles. Your Eden, your guild, core memories, and brotherhood await you within our community. There will be plenty of Edens to uniquely identify who you are. So, looks like you can go in there and discover for yourself what the hell is going on with Assassin's Creed. I still love that franchise. I think one of my favorites was a long time ago though. The Revolutionary War one was awesome. There were a couple others that were really good. So looking forward to seeing what they've got from the Smart Collectibles side. Bravo on the branding there. Gifted, what do we have on Dot Swoosh?
It looks like it might be working.
Okay.
So,
we're diving in here.
I was able to get the website pulled up. So here we go. We got two different boxes. This is the New Wave box, which looks pretty cool. Very futuristic.
Yeah, the detail is
kind of metallic. And then we got
I like that classic one way better.
Yeah, this is the one that I think I'm going to go for.
This looks like a Fifth Element piece. You know the pieces they were trying to collect at the end of the movie? That looks like it's from the Fifth Element.
Only $19 or $20. So really not that bad for this first ever Nike NFT collectible that could be anything.
Could literally be a Super Yeti in the box.
Could be a Super Yeti. What if? So anyway, trying to click through and see if I can actually buy. The website is still moving slow, but at least it looks like I'm making progress and I might be able to buy today. So I think this is the one I'm going to go for. I'm going to try and get one of these classics and redeem my poster.
All right. While we wait for Gifted to do that, I want to bring your attention to Crypto Slam again. This is searched over the last 7 days. Look at the amount of Bitcoin, quote unquote, NFTs or inscriptions that are here in the top 10. We got one on uncategorized. So that's all of them. You've got Bitcoin Ordi. I'm not sure. That says BRC20.
So that's BRC20. That's the first BRC20.
Okay. You got Bitcoin frogs, you got VMPX. So this is, I mean, in a list that had no Bitcoin on it, even 30 days ago, this is kind of wild to see it at least in the top 15, right? Like that's where we're primarily kind of being able to see on this list.
Well, it is. It's really wild, but also to your point, it's like
people are making crazy money on this.
Yeah, it kind of reeks of opportunities. So, what I want to figure out with UQ is like, what's the strategy here? What's our moves into the BTC, NFT, and BRC20 space? You know what I mean? Like, what would you be doing right now? You buying stacks?
I think the hardest part for people is just simply the bridge. It really is. Like whether the bridge is just like buying Coinbase or buying Bitcoin on Coinbase or buying Bitcoin wherever you want to buy Bitcoin and sending that to a Bitcoin wallet that you need to set up. That is the biggest portion of this that I think people just like are like, I'm not going to do that. It feels like it takes too much time. So I think the first move is finding the best wallet, right? The best integrated wallet. Is this on Stacks? Is it on a layer 2 that we could potentially pick up a wallet?
Doesn't MetaMask have ordinal support now?
Could. That'd be a great move on a company that doesn't really stay on the innovative front. That'd be a great move for them. They launched NFT support a year after the NFT wave took over.
I'm about to go grab my wallet because it looks like I can buy my Nike. So I'm about to do this right now.
I'll Venmo you 20. Get me one too. Giff is selling all of his Pepe and Turbo on the streets of LA in order to get this cash. I know you can still hear me. I'm already saying I'm going to go cover myself with masking tape and prices so I look like I am from a garage sale and Gary will like me. It's a good idea. Does Phantom support BTC? I believe Phantom does. That might be the move. Phantom big. Let me confirm that.
All right.
Yes. Son of a bitch. Does Ledger support this stuff?
I think they are. Yeah, I know they support Pepe. I know they support Pepe now.
Yeah, but that's an ERC20. That's all that took was like 2 Gs. Get another cock punch while you're on stream.
Oh God, bro.
How bad cock punch actually?
So it's really bad.
But before we jump out of this episode, I want to hit the rate my bag. So we're gonna watch Giff get a Dot Swoosh, and then we're gonna briefly hit on some rate my bags. Maybe we do a full episode tomorrow, but we're gonna briefly look at this because it's been a while. There needs to be some additions. So y'all come ready with some additions here for rate my bags. But there's gonna be some movement, guaranteed. Cock punch is life. All right, are you doing it right now?
I just entered my card, credit card only, no crypto. It says order confirmed. We are minting your Nike virtual creation and we'll email you once it's ready. This may take a moment.
What?
They're minting it.
Hold up.
Wait. Hey.
Is there audio components? You don't have to play it, but is there audio component?
I'm not hearing audio right now.
Just trying to live vicariously here. All right. They've got the click and drag animation down, I'll tell you that.
They really do. All right, so I got a gold version of my domain that has my collectible.
What's in the box?
Yeah, well, I don't know when I think the reveal is not for a couple of days, right?
Oh, you're gonna leave me with blue balls here, Giff. God damn it!
Trying to view details though. Let's see if I can get some details pulled up. Here we go. We can't find the page you're looking for. Okay, so my details are not available yet. But hey, it's minted. I got a classic. Our Force 1 box, number 1,315. So I think that's relatively low because there's like 300,000 or something, isn't there? I don't know. But
yeah, Marty's saying he's checking for Nike passwords and only got stupid BlockFi emails. Dude, I feel the same way. I get fucking BlockFi mail sent to my physical address. It's annoying. It's like, hey, we're suing BlockFi. Do you want your $5? Like, no, I just want you to leave me alone. I want to forget about it.
Should I pull up my cock punch?
No. Leave your cock where it is.
Cock punch is life, though.
All right, I got a couple of. We didn't even hit the Solana phone today. Jesus, oh my God, I'm not going there.
Let's hit the Solana phone, Q. Let's just hit it quick and then we're done. Let's get in and out.
Gift does not want to enter this. Okay, give me 60 seconds of this.
You said 48 seconds. Hours. I gotta hold you to this. You said
60 seconds. Hours. What stands out? What stands out? 60 seconds.
I mean, me bits have really had to come up, you know.
Chungos really have it come up.
Chungos have not done well lately. Super Yetis should be S tier.
I would put Goblin Town higher. I think Goblin Town's been good. Cock Punch still, yeah.
Goblin Town has not been good, but they have an expansion project coming.
That's what I mean. I'm talking development. I'm not talking prices on this episode. Everything's wrecked as your point. Pudgies might be A.
Pudgies. Oni Force is doing better than a lot of them. Azuki, bro, might belong in S tier.
Where's it? Yep. It might be in S tier. I think that's the question for next episode. Oni's on there. We got Oni. We got the Bumblebee Oni. We can move that up to A as well. Pudgies could probably be A. I'm doing some preliminary movement here before next time we hit rate my bags. The 8th full episode.
Also, maybe the gods could bump up.
Oh, 100%.
They might even go to A.
Yeah, I would bump them to A as well. What is this? Ghosts?
Yeah, I think so.
Digidaigaku? I no.
I think World of Women might drop down too at this point. Yeah. Cyberkongs, are they still?
That's solidarity, man. Every time we talk Cyberkongs, apparently there's some shit going on, but I don't own the Kongs. I don't know if they have the reach that the others do at this point.
The Gutter Cats still deserve to be C. I mean,
that's a tough
move.
Like,
what about MFers? I feel like MFers are actually doing okay. And Wrecked Guys. I mean, we have Wrecked Guys and Wrecked because it's Wrecked Guys, but like I think that one's doing okay too. If we wanted to actually give it a more realistic placement, Cock Punch deserves to go into Wrecked.
Yeah, right now it's been enough time. Dude, Biggie got worked on Cock Punch, man. We got duped on the. I don't want to say it like large scale right now. He could do something, but man, Tim Ferriss could. Duping the hell out of us.
1.6 ETH is what I paid. just for the wall of doing it live, for the shits and the gigs and the chuckles and the toots. I did it live for y'all, fam. I hope you appreciate what we do on this show. If you have not smashed the like on this show, y'all, so we put our money on the line for this show just to get entertainment value. We are out here like sometimes doing insane things just for this show and for y'all to see what's going down. So smash that like button if you haven't already, fam. Because like my ETH is probably not coming back. It's probably gone forever.
This is the NFT tax harvesting live show. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's eventually what it is. I don't think Chungos can't be in C here.
Yeah, Chungos have have not performed well lately. I'm still holding, and I still like Jungos. I like the community and the art, but
I like IHOP.
they're not. Fair point, I suppose. Cool Cats. I don't know. And Doodles. Oh, I guess they're maybe they're
B.
both in B. They're both in B. That's fair.
All right, we've touched this enough. Moonbirds is another one that we've been talking about a bunch.
It's still B. I feel like it's B.
It's B. All right, well, this is preliminary, folks. We're gonna hit a full Rate My Bags edition. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Wednesday, we can get into that. But that was some good initial movement. It's been a while since we got in there, man.
Yeah, we should also think about like what else should be added.
That's the thing
in general. Like, there's probably a couple new ones.
I feel again. I just feel like we need to take kennels off. Like, no one is sporting a PFP of.
But there's a lot. There's a lot of those on there that nobody's rocking as a PFP right now.
Dude, like, because they have the option,
right?
The kennel dogs is like you don't have. It's not a PFP.
Yeah, it is. You could rock it as a PFP, and people have in the past, just like many of those. Like, dude, Avastars. How many people are rocking an Avastar right now?
Those were like old school. No one ever did the kennel unless you have like some type of like brain impairment. You weren't putting Kennel Club on your PFP. People used to do Avastars.
Chromosomes.
People did have Avastars for their PFPs for a while.
They did, but literally by this logic of nobody rocking it as a PFP, there's a lot on there that people are not rocking as PFPs anymore. Like a Mooncat? How many people are rocking a Mooncat as a PFP? It's the same shit.
But did they at one time? That's my thing. They never did it for the kennels.
Dude, yes, they did. Dude, absolutely, there have been people that rocked kennel clubs as PFPs. It's like one of the biggest NFT collections of all time. And you're going to try and sit here and tell me that nobody's rocked kennel clubs as their PFPs.
Thank you, Cam.
You are wilding
Thank you, Cam. Not a PFP. If you're a dude and you rock
Mooncats aren't a PFP then.
Look.
Several of these aren't PFPs then. Like you gotta have some kind of like
it's just simp
clear
data energy.
That is what you have. That is what you bring to this show. You gotta have some kind of clear logic.
Damn. I love a good Rate My Bags episode. It just goes off the walls. We touched it and it already went off the walls. All right. Any last storylines? I got one more I could potentially cover here that has to do with a project that is near and dear to my heart. But
Solana phone.
Oh fuck.
Oh, that's not it. You got another one that's nearer and dearer to your heart than the Solana phone.
We talk about DAOs all the time. This was interesting. Kieran came out and faced a lot of backlash for this. On May 10th, he wrote that we are facing a significant challenge with our governance marketing nominees as they need to possess the requisite marketing experience. Given the situation, I propose drafting an IIP to restructure the governance model. This IIP would recommend dissolving the marketing subcouncil and delegating marketing responsibilities to the core team, which ensures close collaboration and alignment with Illuvium Marketing Council. I don't know. So basically, what Kieran's trying to do here is pull the plug, and what you're seeing is governance in real time, and why DAOs sometimes aren't the answer, at least from Kieran's perspective. The people that were voted in via, I'm assuming, on-chain proposals, he now wants to remove. He faced a lot of backlash there. I'm not trying to FUD or anything like that. It's really, I think, in real time showing you governance and what that looks like. The community probably voted those people in, to be honest, and then the core team wants them out. What do you think, Gif?
It's interesting. It's really interesting to see, how DAOs are trying to navigate this decentralized organization. These are new challenges that most organizations never have to face.
This is the kumbaya aspect. At least, okay, if I'm reading this from Kieran's perspective, is that they have a ton of money. Illuvium does from their sale and all this stuff. He does not want to just put this out to like any old random community member that because he's popular and a shit poster is now the marketing lead on Illuvium. I think that's what I'm reading from this.
Yeah, it's you have outsourced a hiring process to a popularity contest in a context in which social media and trolling is like the that's like the main qualification to get voted in. This is highly problematic if you're trying to run a solid business. You can't, like, imagine if I mean, what's crazy is that literally this is what our politics has become. And I don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole, but it's like when you're trying to hire the most qualified candidate, they probably aren't the people that are spending their lives trolling on Twitter trying to get, engagement farm followers.
Yeah. Yeah, they're
It's
honing
just
the
it's
craft.
just not.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree with you. I agree with you. Let's talk on this on the morning show tomorrow. So we got a couple like follow over topics. I feel like we could hit on tomorrow here. Solana phone not being one of them, hopefully. But any last take here on the Illuvium piece, man? I think you're spot on. Like, it's not like the people that need to be in these roles are not necessarily the ones that are shitposting on Twitter.
Yeah, and it's a very unique situation that we find ourselves in modern culture and society right now, where so much value is just put on attention. And whether it's negative attention or what, and like vanity metrics, I personally have been through hiring processes where like I'm super qualified for the job, but I don't have the most impressive follower counts. And it's just like, okay, so you're hiring me to do a skilled job, but the prerequisite is that I don't have enough social media followers to do a skilled job where I have multiple degrees and 15 years experience running like the biggest brand. Like I managed $10 million worth of influencer spend for Ubisoft in just 2 years. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
but that qualification is like secondary to how many followers on Twitter do you have?
Yep.
It's crazy that we're in this world, but like, just understand that is how a lot of hiring is being done now. It's like, what is your social media profile and how does that value like translate into value for our business?
It's fair. Yeah. All right. Let's hit on that tomorrow. I think that we're hitting a topic that GiftEd is super interested in, or at least
it's fascinating.
Yeah, talking about. So also following up on Illuvium, I showed a trailer of some gameplay there. Obviously, that's been a game that a lot of us gamers in Web3 have like put our hopes and dreams on, other than Other Side. And I think they're still going to do it. But again, I think waiting out a little bit of this bear market is probably beneficial to them. What happened to the HTC Web3 phone and the Polygon collab with Nothing phone? Look, this is the whole thesis behind what me and Gif are about to show you right now, which is the Solana phone. And so Solana was founded by guys that were previously at Qualcomm. So it makes sense that they're attacking the mobile route, the mobile phone route specifically. There's some, obviously previous experience with that. But I think me and you both think that this is a huge hurdle to tackle. I mean, even larger companies like an HTC have struggled to compete at the level that they need to within the mobile phone industry. So anyways, the first review that I've seen come through from the Solana phone has been put out. This was on Twitter. He said, this is from 0x God King. He said, I'm going to be real here. It's very underwhelming and overpriced. $1,000 for a standard Android phone. The dApp store contains around 5 DeFi apps, and the 10 other dApps are NFT and music related. He goes on and shows a couple of screenshots from this piece. He talks about the weight of the hardware and a couple other pieces. So, Gif, I'm going to open this up. This is the last topic. Thoughts on the Solana phone in general, and then the reaction here.
Okay. I'm not surprised. It's a first iteration. That iterative process is important. I think you or somebody brought up a good question about like, what are the KPIs, success metrics, et cetera, for a first piece of hardware like this. Seeing the use cases, the level of adoption, the actual sales, collecting a bunch of data on how it's used is super, super important. And then, Andy James was saying, even seeing what kind of effect does it have on the Solana network and like volume or adoption there. These are all going to be really interesting things that they're going to be watching. The weight of the phone matters less than all of that. Mm-hmm. So for this first phone, it just needs to be usable and competitive enough that enough people start to kind of like try it out, that they can start to get good data around it and then iterate and improve from here. It is an incredibly difficult market. Like hardware is just very, very hard, especially when you're competing head to head with Google and Apple. If you're spending $1,000 on a phone, why wouldn't you get an iPhone? Do you know what I mean? It's like, that's the challenge there, is like you are putting yourself at a premium price point without a premium experience right now. You could argue it's a premium experience because it's unique. Like, so for Web3 people, it's a premium experience. But like beyond that, if the hardware is not that great, if there's not that much in the dApp store, if there's not that much additional functionality to justify the premium price point, I think you're not going to find a robust market for it. I don't know. Andy was coming through saying that he actually sees it as bullish. I can see the bullish take on this is that, like, look, it's great to see a shiny piece of Web3 native hardware and then get that data and see how you can improve. If they are going to keep investing, then it could be pretty bullish, because having Web3 native mobile technology is definitely a massive win. It's just, can they actually keep spending as much as they need to get a viable and competitive product? That's a big question mark.
Yeah. The other thing I was asking was, who is buying this, right? Like are Solana maxis buying it? Maybe, but then you're really capping the amount of people that are purchasing your product.
It's going to be the typical first adopters, like the tech enthusiasts that want to have the shiny new thing, that are always like the same people that'll buy, they'll spend $3,000 for an Apple headset just to have one of the first Apple headsets. So there's a niche market of early adopters that just want to try all the new technology and have it. It's those people. And then it's the like just hardcore Web3 and Solana enthusiasts that also want to have the clout of like having the first Solana phone. So it's a very small market that they're targeting right now.
Yeah,
it just is.
There's a couple other comments that I think are relevant. The same guy who actually wrote the original thread is responding to someone saying, hey, give it some time. And he's saying, I'm going to be real 1,000 for this is brazy, but why not just release a Solana OS? I know that Apple specifically has been like really heavily against a lot of like the self-custody portion, the tokens portion. So that's like obviously been something that's led to people creating their own like third-party application, or in this case hardware. So there's a lot of interesting questions there. A lot of around in something that is a blind spot for me is, what does it look like inside of Android and inside of Apple right now, right? Because that's our thesis, like, or at least mine, is Android is going to release a product that has Web3 integration that doesn't have to compete with a product bigger than itself, other than Apple, obviously. Like, you have this ingrown community, they can just add the hardware pieces, or have had. In some of the comments that I saw, they were saying that some of these encryption, these high level encryption pieces already exist within iPhone and Android, which is the reason I would be buying a Web3 phone is for the encryption.
Yeah, it's a great point. Also, Prodigy, you got to be more careful sharing out Nifty Q's seed phrase over there.
Fair.
That's rough. This is live, so I'm not saying you should copy paste that and go get a bag full of useless NFTs, but you might be able to.
Help. Hazi is saying it depends on what they are coming up with. Following up, focus on UI UX for adaption. The chain that masters that will succeed. But does a chain need a phone?
It doesn't need it. It needs interoperability and integrations with the biggest phones.
That's again, that the software that integrates with the biggest phones. Yes, I agree with that.
That's it.
Yeah. There's a couple other comments. I'll just drop the tweet thread if you guys want to check that out. You can see people kind of commenting on whether they think the Solana phone is going to be successful. If I had to hold a gun to your head, Gift Ed, is this successful or is this not? Which one are you choosing?
If I had to choose one, I would say no.
Yeah.
It's just so expensive that I think literally what we just said is what they're going to determine. I think they're going to realize, hey, instead of literally sinking hundreds of millions of dollars into hardware that like we're just barely like we're not able to compete with the big guys and we're just losing our asses, why would we not just double triple down on our software and integrations and interoperability with like, you know, other hardware manufacturers or whatever?
Yeah.
Like I think that's, I don't know. Maybe they develop some really unique hardware that comes out of this that can have different applications. Maybe they're able to like spin it off into something else. Maybe they're able to sell some of that technology to the bigger, you know, manufacturers. Maybe they get acquired. I mean, look, maybe one thing that happens is like they create an interesting enough case study and like a beginning that Solana gets acquired by
for the tech,
an Apple, by an Apple or a Google. And then they kind of, you know, they have a Solana phone, but then they're like guiding it and like, you know, integrating it with their existing tech and their economies of scale. So it becomes much cheaper to produce a Solana phone. You know what I mean? So I could see it goes a couple different ways, but I don't think Solana without getting bought out or support is going to be able to keep developing hardware more than like a year or two tops.
Prodigy is asking, what network is this phone operating on? That was another or answer that was brought up, was like, I don't really care about the hardware, although I think they were leaning towards Android, if I'm not mistaken. I think Jawa was asking this. He was like, I just want my service provider to be displaced. So that and I agree with that. Like obviously like Starlink is trying to handle that as well. But like the I don't really have a problem with the hardware innovations that have been coming out of iPhone, although they release one every year. That's my main trigger, is that they release one every year and then they make the one that you had previous, like have a bunch of shit wrong with it so that you feel like you got to upgrade. It's really the providers that people have problems with most of the time. The Verizons, the T-Mobiles, and some of those companies. So interesting stuff. Hanging out in the Wild Wild Web account queue. Interesting comment there, Choina. Wild Wild Web episode is coming directly in the next 24 hours. So I had a birthday yesterday. I wanted to get the first episode out on Monday, but I had a lot of stuff go on this weekend. I am officially free of some other responsibilities, and we are diving into the Wild Wild Web tomorrow. Mike Finch talking Ethereum, talking long case bullish Ethereum pieces there, Bitcoin as well, NFT thesis as well going into the end of 2023 and into 24. A lot of really cool stuff coming. So I'm going to drop this tweet really quick so that you guys can follow that channel. A lot of you already do, but I'm excited, man. One-on-one interviews. We got a lot of great guests lined up. It's exciting.
We got a lot to celebrate. I didn't even know it was Nifty Q's birthday. So if you want to wish our man Nifty Q over here a happy birthday, smash the like. Do it for the man over here. He didn't even tell me. I only just found out. So a happy belated birthday to you, Nifty Q. I also have a birthday coming up May 21st. So we should do like just a birthday celebration show together. We have a 200th episode of GM Web3 coming up, I think this Thursday. I think we got a 300th episode of NFT Live coming up.
We do.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff. And we got a new podcast from the man over here. We got the revamped new version of the Nifty Q show, Wild Wild Web, coming. It's a premiere. Yeah. It's a premiere of the new podcast. So there's a lot to celebrate, a lot to talk about, and yeah, there you go. Shout out Omar, wishing him happy birthday. Our vibe, our tribe. It looks like my also things to celebrate. My Dot Swoosh Air Force One is minted, but I can't open up the details. I'm still getting errors on that. So
I love a good like shitty mint experience. It really brings it home.
it's a good experience if it works, but it's just
If
it works.
That's a big if. All right, folks. That was the end of the NFT live show for today. We'll obviously be back tomorrow at the same time. Keep a lookout for the Wild Wild Web episode tomorrow. That is going to be the first episode under this rebranded podcast. One-on-one interviews. Again, a lot of you are used to it, but if you're not, those get really deep and in detail about founders' backgrounds, how they came into crypto and Web3. But then we love to get diving into topics about what they are specifically experienced in, right? Like what sector they're in. So we'll have obviously gamers talking about that sector. We'll have people in finance. We'll have people in tech. We'll have people that are building different protocols. All of these different things we love to get information on and dive deep on. So if you guys have any founders or creators or builders that you'd love to see interviewed, send them my way as well. I know that's how we initially got connected with the AZUKI fam as well, talking to Golden Cross and them. So a lot of really cool networking opportunities for our community as well. If you'd like to see some other community involved with what we've got going on here, let me know and we'll reach out. So I appreciate all the birthday wishes. All right, Gif, what do we got?
I got it pulled up. Finally, you know what? We made it happen. Got my classic remix Air Force One box. Here you go. We got the details. Classic remix OF1 box reimagines AF1 Air Force One silhouettes from 82 to 2006 with a virtual twist. This box can also include unique custom Air Force Ones that flip the classic aesthetic. It's a portal to Nike nostalgia, celebrating heritage details while pointing towards the future. They say we're also committed to supporting community partners through investment in organizations focused on economic empowerment, education, and equality. Details here: total collection size 106,000, total units so far 53,000. So there's some details. The utility comes with 3D files, so that's the utility that these come with. 3D file Nike virtual creation coming soon. Owners of an OF1 box will be able to open it to reveal their AF1 Nike virtual creation. A 3D file of the virtual creation will be available for download in early June. So we also have license agreement details down here. So I wonder how interoperable these 3D files will be, if they're on a pretty common like Unreal Engine or something like that you can put into a lot of different metaverses. I'm sure that they're trying to figure out some kind of cool interoperability with it, but there you go.
Bless Nike. Thank you for blessing us with an okay drop. So mint experience, obviously, with the website, but other than that, what was your overall, out of 10? What are we thinking? 10 being the best?
Well, I think we have to wait until the reveal, but like the quality of the art so far from the posters of this, the quality looks really, really great. So that's a big deal for me. Again, if it was like shitty quality, I'd hate it. The price point was pretty solid, $20 for the first ever Nike NFT. I'm not mad at that price. I'm glad they didn't try and, extract a shit ton of, obviously with like the size of the collection, they're still getting value, but at least they weren't like, give us $500 or some ridiculous shit like a lot of these brands do, or $200 even would have. They probably could have done that. And to be fair, like there would have been people that would have spent like $200 on this shit. And so the fact that they didn't do that, I think is actually nice, or a better experience already.
Yeah.
Obviously the website not really being responsive or having issues isn't great, but you know what?
Yeah. Hey, you guys got a good review, Nike. You heard it here first on NFT Live. Tax harvesting episode coming soon. All right. I got to secure another box during public, so Omar's getting in. Apparently, Prodigy saying you just leaked your shit. I don't know what that means. Marty McFly saying I went back to old mean fudding. And I'm getting a lot of OVOTs and happy birthdays. I appreciate y'all so much. Guys, that's going to be the end of the episode from me. Again, I appreciate every day you guys show up here. It means a ton to us. Yeah, definitely leave a like on today's episode so that we can continue building this community. But I love the community that we already have. You guys are awesome. I love spending my days with y'all, and I appreciate it. So, Gift, take us out, man.
I mean, what else I gotta say? It's your birthday, big guy. I think you deserve the last words here. So I'll just say our vibe, our tribe, and
Gift loves a good happy birthday song. So I'm gonna start by saying happy birthday.